Alright, what's up YouTube? How we doing? Today Aninews just dropped the new video for the content, so we're gonna be doing that. And then I'm probably gonna react to I don't know if you guys can hear it, but you know, my neighbors are still doing some bullshit ass work. But yeah, I'm probably gonna react to maybe Love is War and maybe Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You. Tomorrow I'm going to watch Spider-Man Brand New Day. It is opening night. It's coming out Friday for me, 31st. I know a lot of people already saw it at the premiere, and yeah, I'm really excited. I might do a review, so let me know if you guys want me to start doing reviews about movies that I watch. I don't really go to the theater that much unless it's like a movie I'm really excited and I can't wait to see, like Spider-Man Brand New Day. Like, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I cannot wait for like the Blu-ray version, like HD version, to come out. I gotta go watch it because I don't want to be spoiled. But yeah, I'll probably drop like a review, non-spoiler, maybe spoiler review, either this weekend or Monday. And end of next week I'll probably going on vacation for like 6 days, so you know the content might slow down a little bit. I apologize for that, but I still haven't gone on a fucking vacation trip since like 2 years ago. So yeah, really excited for that as well. Been pretty busy, I'm not gonna lie, but like I said, today we're gonna be watching some Aninews cut content, so we'll get straight to that. Let's get straight to it. Let's go.
All this might seem like a lighter, more celebratory time in
Okay, I really do. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry for pausing so quickly, but I just wanted to say this. I feel so fucking bad for ReZero fans because the ReZero artwork, and no hate to the artist, whoever he is or she is, but the ReZero artwork cannot compare to Mushoku Tensei artwork when it comes to the light novels. ReZero artwork is so ass. The anime looks great, right? But the light novels art, Mushoku Tensei, in my opinion, has like really good art. I don't remember the name, but I do have it on Twitter of the artist who does the artwork for Mushoku Tensei. But it's so good. I really do like it how, you know, how it looks. And obviously you see it develop from like volume 1 all the way to like the last volume, and yeah, like it looks so good. And we can see, even here, we can see Xena smiling.
Rudy's life, but there's a surprising amount going on underneath the surface. Between Cliff and Alina Lise's wedding, Rudy's family
Very
life,
short.
and Zenith showing one of the clearest flashes
I bet that was very detailed. Like the threesome, I bet in the light novels that probably was very detailed.
emotion since the labyrinth.
Like at least the
what we
first,
all
like
just
how
watched
it
was
started.
a quiet delivery of some very important character moments. As usual, the novel has plenty of details that make these
Season
moments
2?
hit even harder, but on its own, this episode was fantastic.
Yeah, no,
I
it was
honestly
chill.
didn't expect Zenith's reaction to hit me as hard as it did here.
Me too. That
said,
was so
I think
emotional.
for a show like this, the more details, the better. So if you want to know everything left out from the novel, that's what we'll be talking about.
Let's get straight.
Now, from one incredible fantasy
Get straight to
series,
it. Shout out to any news content. I'm gonna leave the video in the description if you want to go watch it uninterrupted. But yeah.
to the next. I'm sure if you enjoy Mushoku Tensei, then you probably enjoy Frieren too.
Yes.
Right?
Actually, I find this very similar. Like, Mushoku Tensei would be in my top 3 favorite animes of all time, if not for the main character. I already said this before, but yeah, Mushoku Tensei and like Frieren are really good. Frieren is in my top 3 definitely. When it comes to like my favorite animes of all time.
Well, if you do, it would be irresponsible of me. Let's get back to the video. Episode 53. Celebrations.
Yep.
Covering chapters 7 to 9 from volume 13 of the light novel.
Okay.
It was the very same night that Rudy had become a water king that, out of consideration for Roxy...
I wonder how many chapters are left. How many chapters are in one volume? Like maybe 13 chapters or more? Because like, this is cool and all, but I want to get to the action. I want to get to the nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get to the whole Perugius and Nanahoshi storyline.
and Sylphie he would let them sleep alone.
Yep.
That meant not joining either of them, since if he did, Rudy knew there was a good chance he wouldn't be able to keep his hands to himself. So it was that night which brought up all sorts of provocative thoughts regarding what a threesome might be like.
Ew.
Rudy wondering how Sylphie's indulgent nature would mix with Roxy's experimental nature.
Oh.
As of now, Rudy enjoyed them both equally, but he knew over time he'd probably start enjoying his time with one more than he would with the other.
Oh.
That didn't mean he was planning to eventually neglect one though, since his intention was, after all, to treat them as equally as possible.
Right.
It's for that reason Rudy didn't think it was
Can't wait for Eris to pull up.
wrong to go through with it. He just wasn't sure how either of them would react to it. I mean, to him it was a rather extreme desire, so to maintain the healthy relationship he was always pursuing, he decided to keep those thoughts secret.
Right.
Now,
until Elena Elise brought it up, and then he was like, please help me.
Cliff was so busy with all his preparations is because while he did promise to marry Alina Lise after she came back, he wasn't expecting her to come back so soon.
Oh,
Rudy did
okay.
say they'd be gone for 2 years.
Yeah, because
so
they did use the all the bullshit to like teleport, which made the trip way faster, like insanely fast, compared to like how much time it would have taken them if they just went the normal route and like just went by foot and actually traveled. That would have been a whole season by itself if they did that. Like that would have been a whole season by itself.
by coming back 18 months early, they'd caught him off guard a bit.
Yeah.
It was only natural then that he was now rushing to get everything in place.
Yeah, he wasn't
Not even
ready.
putting any time into his research anymore. In the past few months, he'd actually been able to achieve quite a lot though. Not only by planning a wedding all by himself, but also by finding a place to live
Crazy.
together, furnishing it, and planning what they needed to move in
Oh,
together.
that was their house? This was the school. This is their house? Or am I tripping?
The core problem was, as we saw, Alina Lise's needs, a topic that then led into the threesome conversation.
Right.
Much of it was pretty much the same, the only difference being Alina Lise agreeing Roxy was the blocker, since Sylvie tended to go along with anything. Really.
Yeah, because I think I said it, but like Sophie doesn't care. Sophie genuinely like wouldn't care. Like if he pulled up on her and he was like, "Oh, you want to have a threesome?" Like Sophie wouldn't care. Like he literally cheated on her and she let that shit slide, which is insane. But Roxy, on the other hand, she's like very reserved. So that was like probably the core issue.
Proposed. The main question then was, would Roxy? I mean, considering how she could be a bit uptight sometimes, both Rudy and Alina Lise knew, if suddenly asked, she probably wouldn't react very well.
But that's what I was surprised, because I was like reacting to it, and then she said, like, Sophie was like, "Oh, you don't mind?" And then Roxy was like, "No." And I was like, "What the fuck? Like Roxy doesn't care?" I was like, "Okay, sure, why
Whether
not?"
her little tolerance for nonsense or just her innocent nature, there was far more risk with Roxy than there was with Sylvie. So, it was after the deal was made that a month would pass. Rudy and 20 others bear
Okay,
witness
so a
to the
month.
marriage between Cliff and
I don't think
Elisa.
they said this.
It's not often an anime puts in the effort to redesign all their characters
True,
for such
true,
little screen
true.
time, but it's the little things like that which make
Fuck
Mushoku
with Zanoba's like outfit.
Tensei stand out so much. It
I don't know if we
hammers
saw
home
it before.
This truly is an important event, and with each outfit being a Surin-style finery, it adds depth to the
We're
region
probably
they're
gonna
in
see
and the
this again
customs
at
that
some
are followed
point, like
here.
these
To add a outfits. bit more context to all that, though, when it comes to
this was a light novel illustration. That looks good. Like I said, MUSHOKU Tensei artwork just tramples ReZero's artwork. Like you can debate all you want. Like that's obviously a valid debate which one is the better like isekai anime. But obviously when it comes to the artwork, you cannot there's no debate there. There is just no debate. Like ReZero is getting cooked by MUSHOKU Tensei when it comes to the artwork for the light novels.
Liz church weddings, the rows of guests were divided by rank. The front row was reserved for the highest ranked spectators and closest family members, naturally resulting in Ariel and Sylvie being there.
Yep.
Rudy was only there because he was Sylvie's husband, but Sylvie being Alina Lise's granddaughter meant she had to be there.
Right.
The most awkward thing was Roxy joining Rudy up there too, since not only
Yeah.
was she the second wife of the husband of the relative, she was the second wife while amongst the faithful followers of Millis. A faith that, as we know, didn't think highly of bigamy.
Yeah.
Luke did, however, say there was nothing to worry about since many Asuran nobles took multiple wives despite the doctrines of their church. In any case, Rudy couldn't help but wonder how faithful Alinalise would be to her vows since while he was sure she would follow them.
Yeah, I feel like there's some point where maybe Elena Lees goes with Rudius somewhere else, like on another journey, and she ends up cheated on Cliff with somebody else. I don't know if Cliff is even gonna be able to like cure her, like find a way to like, you know, get rid of the curse or cure her illness. But if he doesn't, there's a high chance that she might cheat on him. I hope not, but you know, like that's a possibility. So
As
yeah,
long as Cliff lived, her much longer lifespan meant she would eventually have to keep living without him. It's
True.
not like anyone would blame her if she looked.
Same with Roxy and Sylvie. Roxy is Megurdia tribe. They have like, I think they have a lifespan of 300 years at least. And then there's Selphie, who is an elf, and she is related to Elena Lees, and Elena Lees is like thousands of years old, which means that Selphie is going to be able to like live for thousands of years, which means that the person that is going to end up alone is sadly Selphie. Like it's probably going to be if Eris comes back and marries Rudius, which I'm like 90% sure she will, Eris is gonna die first because she's the oldest, then oldest human, then Rudius, who's gonna die of old age unless they die of something else like a fight or something, and then Roxy because like they have a couple hundreds of years when it comes to their lifespan, and then Sylvie ends up alone, which is going to be sad if we actually see that.
For someone else after, but it was just interesting to see her make this vow to love him for as long as she lived. The necklace was a ceremonial prop made in the image of a necklace St. Millis supposedly wore himself, then the promissory kiss was based on a story from the life of St. Millis.
Okay.
You see, it was on the day of his departure for the battlefield that Millis had given his necklace to his most beloved. In return, she kissed his forehead, all while praying for his safe return.
I thought she just did that because she didn't want to like bend over because he's shorter than her, and I laughed at it, I think, during the reaction, but I guess that's just ceremonial.
It was
stuff.
later when Millis was in grave danger that his beloved would hold up his necklace to the heavens. The gods would then be moved by its beauty and the depths of her love.
Okay, we got some
choosing to save
world
Millis
building
because of it.
when it comes to the religion
So
of
that
Millis.
was a story apparently based on historical events, but how much of it was actually true, Rudy wasn't sure.
Isn't this the concept of
ceremony would
Millis
then
or
be
the fuck it's
finalized
called?
with an illuminating light,
Yeah,
symbolizing
was
the
that like a
radiance
spell?
of God overseeing their marriage. That was pretty much it. The entire thing rather short, as it was simply intended to prove their mutual love to God. Nobles would often have a reception after, but for Cliff, who was just a student, this was all of it. Now, it was after while everyone was walking back that Rudy would take in Norn and Aisha's interest in weddings now. He could see Norn falling in love and getting married one day, but the overall thought of it wasn't entirely pleasant.
I wonder,
However,
like,
the lucky man
I wonder what Aisha and Norn's like love interests are going to be. Maybe even Lilia, because, you know, obviously Paul is dead. What if Lilia finds another guy, you know? I don't think so. And also, I don't know if, like, Rudis is gonna marry 3 wives or 4, because there's also Sarah. So what if Sarah comes in? And, like, Sarah and Eris are, like, 2 knuckleheads. I don't know how that's gonna work. Yeah, bro, there's so much stuff that could happen. I just can't wait for Eris to come back and like the main story.
was, though, Rudy figured he'd have to give them a punch in the face as a wedding present.
Oh,
As for Aisha, Rudy couldn't see her getting married at all. He
Really?
wondered if perhaps she'd stay a maid forever.
I
It was when
wouldn't
Roxy
want that
and
for her.
Sylvie started acting all cute after that. This was the moment Rudy realized he was ready to take his shot with them. The actual attempt would only be made 2 weeks later, though, right in the
Okay,
middle
so
of
this was
Sharia's busiest
after
time of
2
the
weeks.
Harvest Festival.
Okay.
Here, there would also be a
Because
surprise.
they don't really say in the anime, like sometimes they would in like dialogue just like sneak that shit in, especially in season 1 whenever they would like travel a lot. Obviously, we needed like something of a timeline to like know how long the trip from the Demon Continent all the way back to Buena Village was. But in this season, I realized that like they don't really say much about the timeline. Like they don't tell us how long it has been. I think they said it at like the beginning of the season when we first saw Rudius again. He was like, "Oh, it's been 6 months since Paul died, or something like that, or since we came back." But after that, they just do like time skips for no reason, and they don't tell you shit, and you don't know like how long it has been.
Spoke since this was the same.
So I'm glad, that I'm glad that we're seeing it here. Also, yeah, I saw that like earlier. Sorry for pausing a lot, but get used to it because this is what I do. I saw earlier, or at least I saw when I was doing the reaction, that there was like a beast people blushing, and I was like, oh, this is probably like again that time of year when it comes to like beast folk.
Time warriors from all over the world would come to compete for Linnea and Persena.
Right.
Unlike how last year they competed against Rudy, though, this time they would be fighting Linnea and Persena
Right.
personally. Reason being that
And they're
Linnea
actually gonna
and
get
Persena
married?
wanted to choose from only those who could beat them. That meant a Sword Saint, an Advanced Tier Mage, or an A-Rank Adventurer. That meant a Sword Saint.
Linnea and Persena are like sword saints? I mean, yeah, I guess Eris taught them the sword when they were like in her in the village. Like in season 1, right?
An Advanced Tier
Advanced tier mage.
Mage, or an A-Rank
Linnea and Persena a little stronger than I thought. I'm not gonna lie. A rank adventurer? A sword saint? Advanced mage? Like that's pretty good. That's pretty,
Adventurer, plus good looks and the personality
Oh,
of
yeah.
a savage warrior and
Obviously.
a gentleman. They had high standards for those who wanted to be their mate.
Yeah.
Now, there was a brief
So they have
scene
high standards, but they don't mind being in a relationship with Rudius. Okay, buddy. Oh. All right. It makes sense, I guess.
where Rudy would have Sylphie and Roxy clinging to each arm, a blissful moment that would then be followed by some boastful gloating. As you would expect from Rudy, he would spare no effort in describing the sensation which came from having the chests of
The manga got this far. Like last time I checked, the manga was like really like behind. Cause like we saw when Paul died, I think the manga reached that point where Paul died, like 2-3 months after the season ended, like season 2 ended, and I was like, damn, the manga is like really slow. But I guess in the time of production of season 3, they were able to like reach this point. Okay. I personally don't like the manga art style. It's kind of like but
two goddesses pressed up against him. It was after that the three would then get down to business, choosing a present for Norn and Aisha.
get down to business.
At first, they began shopping in the workshop district, a place where you could find all sorts of magical tools and implements.
Okay.
This was never where Rudy intended to get Norn and Aisha their presents, though, since nothing here really appealed to them. Why then was Rudy here at all? Well, as the place Roxy once referred to as the home to early masterpieces, Rudy figured he'd be able to find a gift for her here.
Bro, Rudius looks like a kid
Should
in the
Roxy
manga.
express any interest in anything, then Rudy fully planned to buy it a few days later. He just needed to make sure whatever it wasn't too expensive. With regards to where Rudy's money even came from,
Well,
as
we
of
know
now,
that.
his family's household income came from 4 main revenue sources.
From
The first and second were Sylphie and Roxy's salaries.
Okay.
The third, the royalties from the scroll Nanahoshi gave him. Then
Okay.
the fourth, the money from the labyrinth.
all
That
right.
last one was actually quite a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot, but this one I don't get it.
And second were Sylphie and Roxy's salaries. The third, the royalties from the scroll Nanahoshi gave him. Then
Royalties, like, did he sell the scroll? If anybody could explain me that in the comments, I would appreciate it. But I kind of did not understand that. What does that, like, the royalties from the scroll Nanahoshi gave him? I remember the scroll, but did he like sell the scroll or something?
the fourth, the money from the labyrinth. That last one was actually quite a lot, but while it could keep Rudy comfortable for at least 30 years all on its own, it
Right.
wasn't enough to let him retire.
Right.
That being the case, Rudy knew he'd
How
have
many
to,
years?
It wasn't enough
30
to let
years
him
all on
retire,
his own. Okay.
especially since he being the case. Rudy knew
I hope you guys
he'd have
can't
to
hear
keep
the
making
shit in
more
the
money,
back.
especially since he wanted to treat his wives to everything.
Right.
Now, after the workshop district was the commerce district, specifically a fancy clothing store that Sylphie typically shopped at. It's not like Sylphie had expensive tastes. It's just after all those years of shopping with Ariel, she'd become accustomed to frequenting these establishments. When it came to actually
Sylphie get a little
gifts for
bougie.
Norn and Aisha, Norn's coat was getting too small for her, and Aisha was complaining that her current shoes were far too tight.
We never saw
Thus,
that.
the focus on boots and a winter jacket, both sized a bit larger so they could grow into them.
So I guess we're gonna see that in like their character designs later.
Then head to the lodging district. It was the time of day when adventurers were returning from the labyrinth, them often trying to sell all the prizes they found. If you were a savvy merchant knowing what you were doing, then this was often the best time to find yourself a deal.
Okay.
Now, it's not like Rudy had any need for the magic items any of them were selling, but just walking through did make for some fun window shopping.
Yeah.
Sylphie did, however, get a present of her own. A whole new outfit befitting that of a mage knight.
We didn't see that.
It didn't make her look like a novice adventurer, but at least now she could go on adventures. It was once the night was ending that Rudy would then take the two to an inn targeted at S-rank adventurers.
Right.
Here the food was good and the atmosphere nice, but most importantly, the beds were big and the rooms nearly soundproof.
Okay.
Their conversation prior was pretty much the same.
It was like the
and
perfect
only part
spot.
left out was the wine and dining beforehand. Rudy knew full well he needed to get them into the mood first, so he spared
I wish we could have seen this. I like the slice of life stuff. And we know that Roxy is has a sweet tooth. Don't remember where I read that. I think it was like from either season 2 or something from the novel, but yeah, we know that Roxy has a sweet tooth.
Benson treating them to a delicious meal complemented by sweet desserts.
Yep.
Normally, it was hard to find ordinary meals made with raw ingredients, but because this was the season of the Harvest Festival, food was plentiful now.
Okay, so it's like the
Rudy could afford
perfect
plate
time
of luxury, more than enough to fill all their appetites. Surprisingly, there was no description of what happened after, so that...
Surprisingly, yeah. Because usually Mushoku Tensei, they be describing that shit. They be describing that shit. They be getting into some explicit territory. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the light novel as well, I think. And even in the anime. Like season 1 anime, I think we got flashed at some point with Paul and Zenith fucking in like episode 1 or 2. Like basically H anime type of shit. And obviously then there's Eris and Rudius montage, which is very uncomfortable to watch. And Roxy and Rudius in season 2. Like, yeah, they you know.
Brings us now to the day of the party. When Rudy had gone to invite Norn and Aisha out, initially Norn was hesitant because Sylphie wasn't invited. She found it weird that everyone except Sylphie was invited out. Sylphie then quickly came up with the excuse that she had planned this outing, hoping for Roxy and Norn to get to know each other better.
Okay.
That much made sense, but now Aisha was curious as to why she was invited.
Yeah.
I mean, she already had a great relationship with Roxy, so her expression now looked a little more dubious.
She's like,
She
huh.
wasn't concerned enough to dig into it any further though, so Rudy just hoped she hadn't figured it out.
It's just a fun hangout.
Now, fishing was never something Rudy had any interest in, neither in his past life nor in this life. If there was ever a time when he needed fish, Rudy simply froze the water solid.
Fucking cheating.
Just like we saw, that gave the opportunity for Roxy to teach Norn. It was when Rudy was losing to Aisha though that in order to get serious, Rudy would leverage his demon eye. He would use it to peer into the future.
The manga looks way more unserious.
Know preemptively when to pull up on something. When all his demon eye led him to was a boot though, in the novel
He
Rudy
used his
simply
demon eye?
accepted the fact Aisha was better than him. He knew he could always electrify the water if he wanted to, but
in the
unlike
anime-
in the anime, he never actually did. Still, it
in
was
the anime
interesting
he
to
actually
see how
did
he'd
it.
already improved upon the lightning spell like
Sure,
that.
yeah, I actually prefer
Last
that.
video we
I like that.
discussed how that was something he was experimenting on, so this
Yep.
pretty much confirms he's well into the process of miniaturizing it.
Yep.
It was once home that the surprise would go just as we saw.
Zenith and Lilia look very different in the manga.
The only minor detail you might have missed being Zenith's very faint smile here.
Yeah, no, I
She
saw
didn't
that.
join
I was like, she
Sylphie
was
to clap
smiling
for
and
Norn or
standing.
Aisha, but from what Rudy could tell, she did look almost happy.
Yeah.
Now, with the whole party being pretty much because of Paul, It was a little somber when Rudy gave his speech.
Yeah, I was like,
That
that's
prompted
not...
him to give
you
the
know?
presents, which then brings us to the scene with Zenith. It was before that Zenith was always the type of
Ah, I
person to
miss
get
her
super
from...
worked up at special occasions.
Yeah, I miss her from
Rudy
season
vividly
1.
remembered just how
I feel so bad
enthusiastic
for
she
her.
was during his 5th birthday, so if not for her condition, Rudy knew she'd probably be just as excited
Yeah,
as Norn was.
very happy and
That
excited.
made seeing her emotionless expression all the more painful, at least until the impossible happened. In a turn of events not even he
Insane.
expected, Zenith would flash a smile to them.
Insane
The thing
moment.
that makes this smile a bit more impactful than all
That was like probably the high of the episode. Like, that was the high of the high.
was that the way it appeared was only for an instant.
In
It
the
was
anime,
so
it was-
brief that for a second Rudy thought perhaps his eyes were playing tricks on him.
No.
It was
in
when
the
he
anime, it was
saw
long as
everyone was
shit.
just as stunned as he was, though. That's when Rudy knew they weren't. More importantly than that very
Then
brief
got
smile,
up.
though, was the gentle action Zenith took to pet both Norn and Aisha's
Yep.
heads. There was no plausible explanation as to why she did it, but Rudy couldn't help but think it was because Zenith was happy to see her girls growing up.
Yeah.
It's tough to say what exactly it was causing these lingering parts of Zenith to react this way, but in addition to her grabbing Lilia's hand here, she would also grab
That too.
Lilia's shoulder as if to comfort her.
That too.
No words were said between them, but
Oh.
from what Rudy could tell, it was almost as if they had a wordless conversation of sorts.
That's crazy, bro.
Now, as if to stack emotional moment after emotional moment,
Very
this
emotional.
interaction between Sylphie and Roxy was one that truly resonated with Roxy.
Yeah.
Rudy wouldn't hear about it until quite some time later, but according to Roxy, this was the moment that she felt Sylphie had truly accepted her. It was shortly after that Lilia would bring
That
out
looks
the
so
cake,
good.
a
I want
nostalgic
cake.
feeling that brought back memories of Rudy's 10th birthday. That then led Rudy to wonder what Eris was up to, him imagining her
Yeah.
happily chopping her way through life one sword stroke at a time.
She going
For a
crazy.
second, he even thought perhaps she got married, but then
Ah.
Rudy realized no man could handle her.
Ah.
This still pan then shows Roxy lecturing Aisha on why she shouldn't be picky with her food, a habit
Oh.
adventurers tended to have since while adventuring they'd often
Aisha
have to
didn't
eat
like
anything.
that?
Really, it was just to show how Roxy was getting closer to Rudy's sisters, a
Yeah.
sign the family was growing closer in general. So, all
Which is very, very concerning because we know that, you know, again, I say it and I say it again, in anime, number one rule, if there's happiness, there will be despair and cries and destruction after. You can't be happy without paying a price. And right now, the happier we get, for the more extended the time we're happy, the worse it's gonna get later. And I feel, you know, I feel like there's something coming. There's a storm brewing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been happy for, this is episode 5, right? For 3 episodes straight. Literally like an hour's, like 60 minutes and some change of just pure slice of life happiness. Some shit is gonna happen. Some shit is gonna happen. Especially if next episode, like this week, next episode is also some bullshit happening. Oof. Oof. If it's like, again, like some happiness and shit, oof. Oh, we're gonna pay. Oh, we gonna be paying.
in all, the party was a success. That's pretty much it for the episode, ending
Okay,
yet
not a
another
lot of
series
stuff
slice
cut.
of life chapters.
Yeah,
I
not a
don't
lot
know
of stuff
when
that was
things are
cut.
gonna pick back up, but with the way everything seems to be going almost too smoothly,
Too
I'd imagine
smoothly.
something's gonna happen soon.
Exactly.
I'm actually surprised we haven't heard from Hitogami in a while.
I'm
It
saying.
is nice to see Rudy living his life, and hopefully whatever happens next isn't too devastating.
Oh, it will.
Let me know down in the comments how you think everything is going.
Alright.
Now, before I go, a huge thanks
Appreciate you. Like I said, happiness, next is gonna be despair. The more happy we are, the more sad we gonna be in the next couple episodes. I just can't wait for that. I'm not gonna lie. I like the action. I like the slice of life stuff. I also love some drama and some sadness and some emotion. And speaking of emotion and sadness, I am really excited for tomorrow. Like, you guys do not know. Like, for now, y'all see me as like an anime reactor. Bro, I love Spider-Man. That's like my thing. Like, Spider-Man is my hyper fixation. So I'm really, really excited. I know we're getting off topic when we were talking about Mushoku Tensei, but I am really, really excited for tomorrow, and I cannot wait to go watch it and then talk about it with you guys. And drop a video, maybe a review, spoiler or non-spoiler, see if you guys watched the movie, and just let y'all know if that shit's gotta be good, because from what I seen, it's gotta be good. It's gotta be good, I ain't gonna lie. I've seen some people after like the premiere. I've seen apparently Steve Lacy spoiled some shit. I didn't see what he spoiled, but you know, I've seen Steve Lacy spoil some shit at the premiere because he was invited. I think he made like a song for the movie. And then there's a lot of people, especially like out of theater reactions, saying that it was their like favorite Spider-Man movie, if not like one of their like favorite Spider-Man movies now, which is, listen, my wish list is web swinging. I want some web swinging. John Watts was ass when it comes to web swinging in action. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a huge John Watts hater. I feel like he ruined the trilogy. Like he tried to do a good job. Like he tried, but it was bad. I want some good action. I want some good action. I want some emotions. I want Peter Parker to be sad, okay? And I do have my theory. I know a lot of people are saying it's gonna be Man Spider, but I feel like it could be. There's a possibility that it's, you know, symbiote, because he has the black eyes. We saw that in Venom. Venom, when he was first transforming into Venom, Eddie Brock in the first Venom movie, he had the black eyes, right? And obviously it's the same symbiote from the post-credit scene in No Way Home. And organic webbing comes from the symbiote as well. It could be Man Spider, it could be the symbiote. And there's also the fact that Sadie Sink's character, which obviously a lot of people think it's Jean Grey. I think there's a possibility. I'm like 50-50 on the whole Jean Grey thing. She can't control Spider-Man. In the trailer, she said, "Did you get rid of that monster inside of you?" What monster? Symbiote. I'm saying, we'll see. Maybe I'm not cooking. Maybe I'm cooking. Maybe I'm not cooking. We'll see. Sorry. But when I start talking about Spider-Man, I go on a tangent. It's just, I love Spider-Man. But yeah. Really excited for next episode. I do want the action to pick up at some point. Like, I feel like I don't want to go too long with no, like, I like the slice of life anime shit, but like, I do have some expectations for this season. And obviously there's Turning Point 4, and like I said, I know what happens in Turning Point 4, and I'm really excited for that. And we know that there's gonna be a lot of action in that, so we'll see. But anyways, if you liked watching this video, leave a like, subscribe, comment, let me know if you want me to react to anything specific. And yeah, hope you guys like this reaction. Hope it made your day better, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.